thought I was doing something there without looking at the synopsis. What's up, it's Jan back at it again with another nerdy bookish video. This is gonna be the one, the only 23 books I must read in 2023. Okay, so it is currently December 1st, so I'm like pre-filming this, don't know which Vlogmas day this is gonna be, so welcome to whatever day this is. And I have been compiling this list for like the past month and a half, 2 months, and I just want to like lock it in and just film this so it's, you know, set in stone, no more changes, I'm done, I'm over it, I don't want to look at it anymore until 2023. I did this for 2022 for the first time. I mean, I still have a month as of now, and I have 8 books left, but my mistake was saving a lot of the big books for December. So we're not going to do that next year. I totally knew I was going to do that this year too, but I digress. I have a variety of genres. I have some new releases, a lot of backlists. A lot of them are on my shelves. So like obviously the goal is to whittle down, is that a word? Whittle down my physical TBR because it's getting ridiculous and I get stressed every time I look at it and think about it. So that's what we're going to do, but I do, like I said, have some 2023 releases that are not out yet, so I will just insert pictures of them. I have, I think, 1 or 2 arcs. Let's just get on into it. I'm so excited to share these with y'all and for y'all to hold me accountable. Maybe some of these would be future book club picks for my full moon book club. All that information will be linked down below. But yeah, I need accountability. I need to be smarter about this because I really do want to get to all of these books next year. Some of these are firsts in a series, and maybe my goal is to read the whole series next year. She said hopefully, because the universe knows I sucked at my series I need to read in 2022. Number 1 that I put on this list, there's no order ranking of how excited I am about these or anything except for number 1. This is one of my most highly anticipated of 2023. So it's called She is a Haunting. So I heard about this like as soon as it was announced. I needed it. I need it. By Trang Tran Tran. Trang Tan Tran? Trang Than. There's no way that's how that second name is pronounced. But all I needed to hear about this book is, ready? Asian Final Girl. Like, excuse me. Oh, it has so many high reviews already. So it says, a house with a terrifying appetite haunts a broken family in this atmospheric horror, perfect for fans of Mexican Gothic. Guess who gave Mexican Gothic 5 stars? That was my September book club pick of 2021. My best friend Cami was my guest host for that month, and so that has all these good memories. Anyway, Jade Nguyen arrives in Vietnam for a visit with her estranged father. She has one goal: survive 5 weeks pretending to be a happy family in French colonial house Ba is restoring. She always lied to fit in, so if she's straight enough, Vietnamese enough, American enough, she can get out with the college money he promised. Okay, I know a lot of you love that trope where it's like multiple identities and like, oh, you're not American enough, you're not this enough. So I just know this is gonna be so good. The house has other plans. Night after night, Jade wakes up paralyzed. The walls exude a thrumming sound while bugs leave their legs and feelers in places they don't belong. Dude, I didn't even read the synopsis before putting it on this list. She finds curious traces of her ancestors in the gardens they once tended, and at night Jade can't ignore the ghost of the beautiful bride who leaves her cryptic warnings. Don't eat. Dude, February 28th, 2023. Number 2, Ordinary Monsters by J.M. Miro. So this is one of those books. First of all, Mama Agaton bought me this, so thank you, Mom, if you're watching this. Probably not, because you're busy. This is one of those books where I was like, I'm gonna buy it as soon as it's released. I'm gonna read it as soon as I get my hands on it. LOL. This, obviously, just by the cover, it's my vibes, right? But it's historical fantasy. It's set in England, 1882, Victorian London, all the buzzwords. Here we go. And I just know there are like a bunch of kids with different powers, a catastrophic vision of the Victorian world and of the gifted broken children who must save it. That's the gist of it. I've heard it drags a little bit, but you know, are we surprised? It's freaking huge. That's what she said. I'm excited, and if I don't put it on this list, I'm just gonna be forever intimidated by it and never pick it up. So I really hope this doesn't disappoint, because I know it was quite disappointing for a couple of my friends who have read it, so fingers crossed. The next book is another new release. It comes out in January. I already pre-ordered it. It's Hellbent by Leigh Bardugo. This is the sequel to Ninth House, and that's all. That's all I needed to know because Ninth House is one of my favorite books of all time now. The cliffhanger, the last line of Ninth House, so excited for this one. I'm probably not gonna reread Ninth House, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, but yeah, I did pre-order this. I read Ninth House in, I think, August, maybe July. I think sometime in the summer for sure. No, it had to be earlier than that. I don't know. It was earlier in the year, so it's still kind of fresh, but that doesn't mean anything to me because fresh for me is still forgetting like 90% of the book. So I do have a live show in like 40 minutes, so I gotta keep this going. But yeah, Hellbent. I ordered the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition, the red cover. I do like the silver cover though, but whatever. All right, number 4 on this list is another new release, and I want to make it my May book club pick because my very first book club pick was by the same author. Y'all know me and my sentimental feels, my nostalgia. So it's called The London Seance Society. That title alone. The cover could be better, but The London Seance Society, come on. But this is by Sarah Penner, who is the author of The Lost Apothecary, which, like I said, was my very first full moon book club pick. It's perfect because this comes out in March, on March 21st. So if I do it in May, that's the month that I launched the full moon book club in 2021. So it'll give us time to like acquire the book, you know, buy the book, whatever, and read it. I'm so excited. I might not be able to wait till May though if it comes out in March. I'm already stressed, but let me tell y'all a little bit about what this is about. Y'all are gonna see a trend in some of these books because I love the Victorian London setting, I love the Scotland setting. Yeah, okay. 1873, an abandoned chateau on the outskirts of Paris. A dark seance is about to take place led by acclaimed spiritualist Vaudeline Dallaire, known worldwide for her talent in conjuring the spirits of murder victims to ascertain the identities of the people who killed them. She is highly sought after by widows and investigators alike. Oh my god! That sounds so good. I forgot what this was about for a sec. She went to Paris to find answers about her sister's death. She must embrace the unknown and overcome her own logic-driven bias against the occult. When Vaudeline is beckoned to England to solve a high-profile murder, Lena accompanies her as an understudy. But as the women team up with powerful men of London's exclusive seance society to solve the mystery, they begin to suspect that they're not merely out to solve a crime, but perhaps entangled in one themselves. Fuck, that sounds so good. Oh my god, I'm so freaking excited. I need to pre-order this book. What am I doing? What am I doing? All right, number 5 is one that I bought recently from Pango. It's about vampires. It's King of Battle and Blood by Scarlett St. Clair. This is like a smutty vampire book. The sequel comes out this month, so I know I'm not gonna be able to squeeze this in this month, but hopefully early next year I'll get to this when I'm feeling like reading a vampire smutty book. But yeah, I've heard really good things about this. One of the main reasons I want to read this book is because Jodie from Vanilla Moon has a spoiler-filled Patreon vlog and I need to watch it, but I have to read it first. The cover of the second book is stunning, so I need it. I need to read this. I need it. But also, these covers, they look exactly the same. And that's why I wasn't interested in this book until a couple months ago, because I was like, oh, it's just gonna be the same thing as from Blood and Ash, lol. But yeah, this is also on my list. This was gonna be a buddy read with Hannah from Hannah's Recent Reads and Sarah from Sarah Shelves like a year ago, and I got like 26 pages in or something like that. I just got too scared, or like wasn't in the mood for this like slow fantasy. I own the first 3 books in this series. I need to get to it, okay? I'm sure y'all have heard of this book. Jennifer L. Armentrout is that bitch, okay? She cranks out books like no other and just released another one that actually I love the cover of. What's it called? A Light in the Flame or something like that? Yeah, I don't know which order to read her books. I just know the first 3, and then there's like prequels and novellas and shit, so like let me know. But yeah, that is also on this list. That wasn't the next one on the list, but whatever. Number 6, this one I just switched something out for right before filming this video because I realized as I was grabbing other firsts in series, I need to get to this one because I have the box set. A lovely subscriber named Natalie bought it for me, and I love these covers and I love this author. The Raven Boys by Maggie Stiefvater. Like I said, I have the box set, so I was thinking of doing like a binge vlog for this series like I did with the Folk of the Air trilogy. I'll have that vlog linked down below. It's one of my favorites actually. So I want to do that again because it was a fun time. Like take a weekend weekend, take like 3 days maybe to read the whole quartet. Maggie Stiefvater, I read her like Shiver Werewolf series in middle school or early high school or something like that, I don't know. And then I also read the Scorpio Races by her and I loved it. I just need to get to this one. I also own Call Down the Hawk. That series keeps growing too, so I just need to get to all of her books. This is like, is it dark academia? I don't even know. I know there's like powers with like dreams and stuff and it's set in a school. I think it is considered dark academia. I don't know, but it's like a YA classic series that I really need to get to. Like how I felt about the Folk of the Air trilogy and being behind is the same feeling I have with these. Like I need to. So that's why I made it a point to add it to this list. The next book is a classic. Also started it last year for the Tis the Damn Readathon because it was the group book, but never finished it. And I probably will start this over, and y'all know I don't do that usually, but I'm like literally 10 pages in. Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. Cami loves this book. Every time she talks about it, I'm like, I need to get back to this and Jane Eyre. I need to read both of them. Jane Eyre is not on this list though, but this one, I need to. It's a classic. I could scratch it off my little classic scratch off poster. I could check it off the Rory Gilmore reading list. And I heard this is like actually pretty creepy, and my copy is so floppy. Mixtape dropping soon. Gothic fiction, gothic romance, like I just need it in my life. Wow, I just got so excited to read this book. The next book on this list is The Stolen Heir by Holly Black. I think this comes out January 3rd. This is a new duology, I think the start of a new duology by Holly Black, the author of the Folk of the Air trilogy, funnily enough. That trilogy became my whole personality the whole time I was reading it and beyond. You know, I had the book in my profile picture for a while. Like, it's intense, so I'm really excited for this one, and I like how fresh the Folk of the Air trilogy is in my head, and the fact that I binged it, it's gonna stay in my head for a while, so I'm excited. I'm excited to start this one and get back into Holly Black's writing. I also have The Coldest Girl in Cold Town by Holly Black, which I need to read still, but I chose this one over that one to put on this list because I know I could read that one quickly at any time. And this is a new release that I may or may not have heard of, but you probably have because it's everywhere. Number 9 on this list is another new release, but it just came out 2 days ago by the time I'm filming this. It's called A Quiet Life by Ethan Joella. I don't know how to say their last name, I'm sorry, but they also wrote A Little Hope. Both of these are on Book of the Month. I knew it was an add-on. I'll probably get it from Book of the Month. There was a day at work where I could not stop staring at this cover. It's just so cozy, and I kept rereading the synopsis, and it's about 3 people dealing with grief and their own problems with life, and it's supposed to be like really sad, like maybe literary fiction. I think it's literary fiction. It should be, right? And then the thing that got me is that all their stories converge at the end, and that is my favorite type of story. The movie New Year's Eve, that is basically that, and that was what started my love for that trope. Is that a trope, like format of a book where the stories all converge and all the people have their own like little stories and little problems, and then they all come together at the end? It's just so satisfying, and I need this book. Number 10 is Jade City by Fonda Lee. A subscriber named Amanda sent me this for my birthday, I believe, this year. I was so happy because I feel like this is one of those, is this sci-fi? I don't even know. It's fantasy, but like, I don't know, something about it screams sci-fi to me. I'm still intrigued by it, which doesn't happen, but I know it's like a higher fantasy. If it's not sci-fi, then it's definitely like a higher type of fantasy, and I have been scared that I'll just be highly confused. But next year is the year, and maybe I'll even finish the whole series next year. Probably not. They're huge, but yeah, I want them all in paperback because they just feel so nice, you know, and it's kind of floppy up, and it's by an Asian author, and I'm just so happy. I don't even know what it's about. I just know jade is used as like form of magic or power or whatever. Excited for this one. I'm not going into too much detail about the ones that y'all have probably heard of by now. Next one is another one that hasn't come out yet. I believe it comes out in June, I want to say. I don't even know the synopsis. It's just an auto read author for me now. The Only One Left by Riley Sager. I'm really hoping Riley Sager redeems himself with this book after The House Across the Lake, because girl. So it says a gothic chiller sold. Slap the word gothic on it and I'll fucking read it. I'm like putty to the word gothic, you know? I haven't even read the synopsis for this. A young caregiver assigned to work for a woman accused of a Lizzie Borden-like massacre decades earlier. The Hope family murders shocked the Maine coast one bloody night in 1929. While most people assume 17-year-old Lenora was responsible, the police were never able to prove it. Other than her denial, she's never spoken publicly about that night, nor has she set foot outside Hope's End, the cliffside mansion where the massacre occurred. It's now 1983. Home health aide Kit McDeer arrives at a decaying Hope's End to care for Lenora after a previous nurse fled in the middle of the night. Lenora wants to tell her everything. It wasn't me, but she's the only one not dead. As Kit helps Lenora write about the events. Okay, this is like Evelyn Hugo, but make it murder. All right. June 20th, here I come. That sounds so fucking good. Ooh, Riley Sager, you better not let me down. Oh my god. This one comes out in January as well. No, not as well, because the other one came out in June. This one comes out in January. It's called The Things We Do to Our Friends. I don't remember the author. I was just looking at it too. Hold on. By Heather Darwent. So this is a thriller. I thought it was more like, well, it is dark academia, but it's set in Scotland at the University of Edinburgh. She's an outsider desperate to belong, but the cost of entry might be her darkest secret in this intoxicating debut of literary suspense following a clique of dangerously ambitious students at the University of Edinburgh. Just the way it's set up. Edinburgh, Scotland. A moody city of labyrinthine alleyways, oppressive fog, and buried history. When Claire meets Tabitha, a charismatic, beautiful, and intimidatingly rich girl from her art history class, she knows she's destined to be friends with her and her exclusive circle. It's like The Secret History. Tabitha has a little project and she tries to involve Claire. What is the cost of an extraordinary life if others have to pay? Reimagining the classic themes of obsession and striving with an original and sinister edge. This is a seductive thriller about the toxic battle between those who have and those who covet, between the desire to truly belong and the danger of being truly known. Yep. I need it. Number 13 is Beasts of Prey by Ayana Gray, and mixtape dropping soon. This arc was gifted to me by Jessie from Bowties and Books, and I have yet to read it. I love these arcs that are glossy and floppy. I honestly prefer this cover to the new ones, and I wish the second one came in this cover for like a final copy. I've only seen them on arcs, but I know I'm gonna love this. I hope I love this. And the main character, I know it's probably pronounced coffee, but it sounds like coffee, and that's like everything I need. I don't even know what this is about. She holds a power within her that if discovered could cost her life. Indentured to the notorious Night Zoo, Coffee knows the fearsome creatures in her care, and paying off her family's debts to secure their eventual freedom can be her only focus. The night those she loves are gravely threatened by the zoo's cruel master, she finally unleashes the power she doesn't fully understand, upending her life completely. As the second son of a decorated hero, Akon is all but destined to become a son of the Six, an elite warrior, and uphold a family legacy. On the night of his final rite of passage, he encounters not only the Shaitani, a vicious monster that had plagued the city for nearly a century and stalks his nightmares, also Coffee, who seems to have the power to ward off the beast. Coffee's powers ultimately saves Akon's life, but his choice to let her escape dooms his hopes of becoming a warrior. But it quickly becomes unclear whether they are the hunters or the hunted. That just sounds so atmospheric, and I love the font. I need to read this soon. And I know Christine from the Roomies Digest loves this book too, and she's been telling me to read it. Oh god. This is the problem with these books. It makes me want to drop my entire fucking TBR. Number 14 is also another one that's been a long time coming. Another glossy floppy, The Night Circus. I got this copy for $2 at Half Price Books. I read The Starless Sea at the beginning of lockdown in 2020. It was the last book I bought before Barnes & Noble shut down. I have yet to read this one by Erin Morgenstern. I just don't like the circus setting. I do like good writing, and that is what I've heard this is chock full of, so we're gonna get to it next year. I heard the romance is great too. It's about this mysterious traveling circus, and I'm hoping it's more character driven, but we shall see. I know a lot of people have cried about this book. Chloe from Chloe Bunny now, it used to be Books with Chloe, is obsessed with the writing in this book, so I need it. I need to get to it. I should have put it on 2022 because this would have been a great book to read this year, but alas. The next one is a book that just came out. I think it comes out on the 6th, December 6th. It's called A History of Fear. So basically, there's this murderer who's known as the Devil's Advocate, and I think this is set in Scotland. Yep, this struggling American grad student. When Hale is found hanged in his prison cell, officers uncover a handwritten manuscript that promises to answer the question that's haunted the nation for years. Was Hale a lunatic, or had he been telling the truth all along? He said the murder that he committed, like the devil made him do it. And then this person who's investigating said murder has satanophobia. God, it just sounds so good. It just sounds so good. I just love the cover, and I talked about it in my most anticipated December releases, so I put that on the list as soon as I heard about it. The next one I had on a couple TBRs now, The 10,000 Doors of January by Alex E. Harrow. And now I am for sure convinced that I want to read this because I just read A Spindle Splintered by this author, and I like the writing, I like the humor, I like the way the story was constructed, and I've seen quotes from this book that made me damn near cry, and I haven't even read the book yet, you know? So I gotta read it, and it would be dope if I read it in January because of the title, you know? I know this is about like a bunch of doors. Oh, yeah. Yep. Thank you, 10,000 to be exact. Oh my god, I really thought I was doing something there without looking at the synopsis. I know this girl January like goes through all these doors, and like people I think have been let down by this because they think it's like this like high fantasy or whatever, but it's more like literary, I think. And then January finds this book, so it's a book about books. I just want it. I just want all the good writing. I want all the bookish things, this like whimsical atmospheric world. I'm excited. The next book is another classic, and I have 3 editions of it, but I've yet to read it. And it's literally like my brand, but here we are. Dracula by Bram Stoker. This is the Penguin Classics Deluxe Edition that I recently bought. I have that one that a subscriber bought me, and then I have another one that I bought like 2 years ago. This is definitely on the list because y'all, vampires are literally my brand. It's my fucking Patreon theme. We're called The Lair, by the way. Links down below. Feel free to join if the bloodlust is calling to you at this very moment. But yeah, I need to read this. I need to experience the story. I've read Carmilla, which came before Dracula, fun fact. I do need to reread that book too. Ooh, I'm not a fan of the decollete edges, but no, like most of it is, or some of it, I don't know, is, or all of it is in the epistolary format. That's what it's called, right? Like in letters. And I don't know which edition to read because I do want to annotate it. Almost done. We're on number 18. But I've also talked about From Blood and Ash already, so technically we're on number 19. Daughter of Smoke and Bone by Laini Taylor. I read The Strange the Dreamer duology. I don't know what it's actually called. Is it just called The Strange the Dreamer? I read Muse of Nightmares and Strange the Dreamer. Love her writing. Did I love the books? Sorry, Daryan from Daryan Reads. They weren't my favorite. They were just a little bit too long. I was highly confused. I would maybe try them again. But first I gotta read this series because I feel like I would like this so much better. I know Cami is obsessed with this first one. I have the box set. That was another one where I'm like, I'm gonna buy the box set, drop everything, and read the whole series. Yeah, here we are. A year and a half later and still have not begun. I do love these covers a lot more than the original. I think that's a universal thing. I'm excited for this. I love the font. I'm excited for the flowery lyrical writing that I always crave. That will be happening. The whole series, not sure, but this has like angels and devils and I honestly don't even know, but it just sounds so good. Next one, long time coming. I just finished the last season yesterday, literally yesterday. You by Carolyn Kepnes. Need I say more? The show is great, phenomenal, perfection, flawless, outstanding. I heard the first book is great. I heard the second one sucks, but I really do want to read this entire series because I know the 4th one just came out too. Y'all know what this is. Joe Goldberg, the stalker, obsession, murder. It's so good. And I just want to read. Oh my god, it refers to The Shining. And Joe Goldberg is bookish and I'm so excited. It has short chapters too, I think. Yeah. So I don't know. I've had this for so freaking long and I need to get to it. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. It'd be awesome if I could read the whole series before the last season comes out. There's a challenge for you. But that comes out in like February, so I might not be able to do it. Okay, this one has not come out yet, but I got an art. A House with Good Bones by T. Kingfisher. Y'all know I am obsessed with What Moves the Dead. That was my very first T. Kingfisher book this year. And then I read Nettle and Bone, which I kind of enjoyed, but it wasn't as good. This one one sounds so good. So thank you to Tor for sending me this. This girl comes home and all the decorations are all gone. It's like stark white in her home. There are vultures in the driveway and vultures keep flocking, and vultures freak me the fuck out. So I'm excited for this. I just know it's gonna be like harrowing. It's gonna be like this gothic writing. T. Kingfisher, I want to read everything by her. Super short, so I'm hoping to just fly through it. Definitely gonna be happening before it comes out in March. That's the goal. Read this before it comes out. All right, and then the last two are firsts in a series that I want to complete. I'm just gonna quickly go through them. A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab and The Assassin's Blade by Sarah J. Maas. I am gonna take the route of reading The Assassin's Blade first. I get very confused with fantasies, and people said if that describes you, then definitely start with The Assassin's Blade and not Throne of Glass. So that's what I'm doing. I've locked it in. It's my final answer. Okay, sorry to those who disagree, but I think this is the best choice for me. I just keep rhyming. Darker Shade of Magic, this is the whole like gray London, red London thing. I've had the box set for like over a year now. Thank you, Christina from Christina's Chapters. People tell me that I won't like this, but I'm going to try it anyway. I want to read all of V.E. Schwab's books. I think I said that in 2021. I definitely want to try this year again for 2023. I want to read every single book that V.E. Schwab has published, because the only ones I've read are Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, obviously, her middle grade series, the Cassidy Blake series, finished that, and then also Gallant I read, which was highly disappointing. Spoiler alert for my most disappointing books of 2022. I'm hoping. I may or may not be hosting read-alongs for all of V.E. Schwab's books. We shall see how that goes. That's a little sneak peek into my 2023 plans. Those are all of them. Didn't think it would take this long. I gotta go get ready for my live show. Let me know in the comments down below if you are interested, excited, whatever, planning to read any of these books as well. And if you made it to the end of this video, let's put the fingers crossed emoji in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. Hope y'all had a great day. Stay safe, stay positive, and stay spooky. Stay festive. Stay all the things, always. And I'll see y'all in my next video. Bye.